new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
Delhi's second home base of Visakhapatnam gave them their first win of the season, that too against Chennai Super Kings. Can they now stop the Kolkata Knight Riders, who are 2-2 so far? Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout. It's time to build up to that game in the company of Tom Moody, Mitch McClenaghan and Varun Aaron. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Tom, Mitch Starc is perhaps the only question mark for KKR from the first two games. Not too much to read into it. It's only been two games. But why is it not working for Starc the way everyone expected it might?
Well, I think he, like any bowler, can have one or two bad outings, but he's had back-to-back bad outings. I'm sure a bowler of his quality is going to, find his feet very, very quickly and turn his fortunes around and also contribute considerably to a KKR, victory. But I don't see there's anything obvious. He's not carrying injuries. We haven't seen him swing the ball early, which is his major threat, particularly in the power play. So given what we saw Khalil do at this venue in the last game, I think Mitchell Starc will raise his eyebrows and think, well, hang on, this may be the venue I can get up and running and get that new ball swinging.
Mitch?
I agree with that, and I kind of like him lining up against Delhi as well. I think he bowls the length that troubles Warner early, that knee roll length with a bit of shape away, so he becomes a threat at the top, and he bowls really well to left-handers as well. I guess the point Tom alluded to was that he hasn't swung the ball back early, and it seems to be a ploy of his at the moment to bowl a three-quarter ball across early, and at some point he'll swing the first one back, and we'll all go, oh, there's Mitchell Starc, and just getting back to basics. So, like Tom, I think he's going to bounce back, and it might be just this game.
Yeah, Mitch brings up Warner. You can also think of Prithvi Shaw as someone who has quite often been troubled by Trent Bolt when the ball's doing a bit. So if that does happen in Vizag, do you concur that this might be the game where Starc kicks into gear?
Yeah, that's if he brings it in a bit. Because in the first two games, it's not happened. And Trent Bolt swings it. I think Trent Bolt swings it way bigger and later than Mitchell Starc. I just love the way he bowled last night. But yeah, I mean, I feel Mitch can also, if say the ball's not swinging, sometimes it doesn't swing, he can be a little more aggressive. There are two bouncers in an over, which I don't think he's utilized that. He bowls a really, really good bouncer. So sometimes when plan A doesn't work, you got to go to plan B, and I think Mitch hasn't really deployed plan B as of now. But he's a high quality bowler, and I'm sure he's going to come back.
There was a lot of positives the other night as well. His slow balls were really good on a surface that stuck as well. So his head's in the game. It's only going to be a matter of time until he does return to top class form.
Yep. It's been a similarly difficult start for Delhi's overseas seamer, Anrik Nortje, but his figures need to be broken down, I guess, because he's suffered on two 20th overs with Riyan Parag going after him in one game and then Dhoni getting those runs. Anything you've observed about Nortje's bowling as he returns from an injury layoff?
The one thing that we need to recognise that is the hardest over to bowl, whether it's the 19th or the 20th over. And when you've been out of the game for some time, it's even triple as hard as what it normally is. You need to be absolutely on point bowling at the death. Your difference between it being hit for 4 and 6 is a matter of a handful of inches. So Nortje is not quite back at his full pace, so he hasn't quite got that sort of threat of ball speed against any batter at the moment, and his precise, precision of his lines and his links aren't quite there yet. So one thing Delhi may consider is just to shield him at the moment while they're getting him some more match time. Learn from that maybe he's not quite ready for that role yet, and phase him into that role as the tournament unfolds. But at the moment, I wouldn't be overly worried or critical of Nortje and what he's doing.
They've got the luxury of phasing him in if they want to, because Mukesh Khan and Khalil Ahmed have been sensational so far. They've both gone at less than 6 the last couple of outings, taking key wickets. So when you have the luxury of guys who are in form and in form at Vizag as well, it's not something that's often talked about, but if you have a good performance on your home ground and you turn up the next game and you're bowling on the same surface, it actually has quite a flow-on effect and confidence. So I expect those two to have a good performance again. They've held it together, and like Tom says, it's a great opportunity for them. Just take a bit of pressure off Nortje until he gets up to top speed. And once he's at top speed, he'll start pitching those balls in the right area. It's probably just, like you say, a couple of inches off at the moment.
I personally think the numbers don't do justice to how he's bowled. Yes, he's bowled a couple of really tough overs. He might have been a little one-dimensional in those few overs, just trying to get the Yorker right. And sometimes when the game's already won, you sometimes are not on completely. Sometimes, which could have been the case with Dhoni, and also the whole euphoria around Dhoni that might have gotten to him. And yeah, I just feel he's bowling well. Like Tom said, he's not up to full pace as of now. But if he's up to full pace, it's going to be an exciting IPL with him and Mayank Yadav and the others bowling the way they are.
Delhi might have a personnel change to consider if Kuldeep Yadav is fit again. He didn't feature the last time, and they were able to bring in the extra seamer as the impact sub in Rasik. But they also had a lot of seamers going in there. So if Kuldeep is fit, who do you see moving out?
Oh, it's a good question. I would have thought they'd just revert back to their first team. So, you know, if Kuldeep's fit, he plays, because, you know, the way he's been bowling over the last 12 to 18 months has been brilliant. So, again, without knowing what's happening in the inner workings of that dressing room, there may be a quick that's, you know, just carrying a little bit of a niggle, and at times that this is the perfect opportunity just to rest them up, to get them back up to speed.
Or last year they employed Ishan as the impact sub.
Yeah.
So he might just slot back into that role, and Anurag Nortje starts in that lineup, and then they just kick out. But he comes in for Rustic Salam.
All right, that's the setup done then. Can Delhi stop Kolkata Knight Riders from making it 3 out of 3 and joining Rajasthan Royals on top of the table? Be sure to join the build-up to the game just before the toss on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.